Hey everybody, Sean Bukowski here. Hope you're having a great week. A little more casual today. I'm at home because poor Steve the dog had leg surgery and so needs somebody to help look out for him. As for the blog this week, we talk a little bit about the housing shortage throughout the United States. This is something that for the last few months I've noticed more and more articles coming out. Basically, every big city around the country you'd see a very similar article about how there's so little supply of new housing for residences, and as a result, the residential housing prices has increased, really skyrocketed throughout the country. Here in Austin, for example, we've never seen a supply this low of houses. I think there's like 2 weeks supply or something like that, and it's as a result it's been a complete market reset on the prices of single family homes and other residential homes. And so I wanted to kind of look into why is this going on throughout the entire country? What's the sort of reason for it? And listen, this is a big problem. This is a small, short blog, so it's not like I could address everything that is the cause of this. But I did want to look at one area in particular, and that area is sort of what we can do, what was the cause of this, and what we can do to fix that cause. And I think you have to start with the history of exclusionary zoning in this country. And this is just a reality. When zoning started, there were explicit laws setting out where minorities, including Black Americans, could live. And then we still see these covenants in deeds for properties that explicitly exclude minorities. And so, thankfully, now, because of the courts and because of laws that have passed, those explicitly racist covenants and laws are no longer enforceable, thankfully. But what also started way back when at the time was single family housing zoning. And what that did was, at the time, it set an artificial floor for income for the neighborhoods, so that you would theoretically keep out minorities who couldn't reach that floor. And unfortunately, the single family housing zoning still continues through to today. Now, I don't think it's, and I don't think while it has I think a racist history, that's not what it's being used for today anymore. I'm not saying that at all. But it is still heavily enforced by neighborhood groups and city councils. And what it does nowadays is it limits the amount of density that can go into an area. And so if your land is only zoned for single family homes, then you can only build one unit on that lot instead of building 4, 6, 10, however many units you could build on a lot. And one of the big ways we're going to solve this housing crisis and this shortage of housing is by increasing density. And so that's what really city councils and cities need to really do is stop focusing on the single family housing. Stop having zoning that only allows for single family housing and focus more on your duplexes, your triplexes, your apartments, your condos, things like that, your townhomes, where you can have lots more density and make an area a livable, walkable, great area to live. So that's what this week's blog entry is on. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call 512-614-0335. Thanks a lot.